My mom had everything. She had a huge network of friends. She had an incredible family. But the one thing she didn't have was her health.
You guys, this is gonna come as a surprise, but I have not always been this athletic and sexually appealing. Yeah, it's kind of a new thing for me.
I grew up in a super rural area of Missouri on a big farm. In elementary school, I was the epitome of the chubby, funny best friend. I made everyone laugh so hard that they didn't have time to make fun of how chubby I was. That was my game plan, and it worked.
I was chubby as a kid and I've tried a gazillion diets. At one point I decided I would have vegetables with every meal, but eventually I got tired of eating French fries 3 times a day. So I joined a gym, and you guys, it went really, really well. After the first 2 weeks, I went to the locker room, I stepped on the scale, and you guys, I had lost 17 pounds. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So I decided to celebrate, so I stepped off of the scale, I put the out of order sign back on it, and I went to the Dairy Queen.
Jeffrey was not athletic as a kid. I can remember one specific incident about Jeffrey, that he played on a basketball team at our small elementary school, and he really was putting out no effort to run up and down the court. So the coaches had told him that they were taking him out of the game until he was ready to put out some effort, and he said, okay, and he never went back in the game.
I tried wearing a bro, which is a bra for men. But I had to stop wearing that because it was obvious I was wearing a bro. I mean, people could see the indentation in my back fat. They could see the straps anytime I wore a tube top. And it was a dead giveaway anytime I pulled cash out of it.
Always hilarious, great at musical theater. Not athletic at all. He wasn't really an outdoor kid from what I could grasp. He tried a few crash diets in college, I can remember. He did Atkins once, which his version of Atkins included going to McDonald's and ordering 2 double cheeseburgers sans the bread. And that didn't go, actually I think he did lose weight, but it didn't last for very long.
Nobody ever said, hey, you might want to put those ho-hos down. Like, it wasn't a thing. You're hungry, yeah. Eat something. You're not hungry? Should you eat? Probably.
I read somewhere that eating spicy food speeds up your metabolism, so I learned to like jalapenos. So I watched an instructional video on how to properly chop up jalapenos, and it went really well. And then I went to the bathroom. And that did not go as well. It took about 30 seconds, and y'all, my man business was on a fire. So I threw it in the sink. I started splashing water on it. That didn't work. So I called poison control, and they hung up on me. So I called my mom, and I said, Mom, there's a problem with my naughty place. And she hung up on me. So I called my dad and I said, Dad, I've gotten jalapeno juice all over Buford. And he said, well, hell, Jeff, you gotta put it in milk. I didn't know. So I went to the fridge, I grabbed a carton of milk, I took it to the bathroom, and you guys, it totally works. But then, get this, you guys, my roommate has accused me of being, of all things, inconsiderate. So I did the right thing. I funneled the milk back into the jug, put it back into the fridge. Inconsiderate.
I would say that in all of my descriptions of Jeffrey Binney, I would never, ever have used the term athletic before, like maybe a year and a half ago. He was a lot of things, but he was never an athlete. I can remember being in like marching band with him and him like running all over the place to do marching band stuff, but like not necessarily running in a way that like would inspire other people to think that he was actually running somewhere. So he's come a long way. Like,
You guys, I grew up on a pig farm in Missouri. I know, right? No. There came a point when I had to sit my father down and have a really, really uncomfortable conversation with him. I sat him down and I said, Dad, I'm sure this isn't going to come as a surprise to you. As a kid, I was very sensitive. I was very, very involved in the theater, and I never really dated girls, but I am vegan. And he said, well, hell, Jeff, I thought you were gonna tell me you were a gay. And I said, oh, girl, please. My dad, she is totes ridic. You guys, substantially less funny. When I was 11, my mom was diagnosed with heart failure, and they gave her, maybe 3-ish years. She pulled out 17 more years. Yeah, right? Absolutely. But I think because she knew her time was limited, she made the most of it. And she was super caring, super giving, super generous, very philanthropic. And a lot of the stuff she did, we didn't even know happened. And one of those times was actually at her funeral. This woman came up to me and she said, hey, I bet you don't even know this story, but years ago, in the middle of the night, my family's house burned to the ground. I got out, my husband got out, my kids got out, everything was destroyed, but we all got out. But this was while your mom owned her children's clothing store. And in the middle of the night, somehow she found out that our house was on fire, and she went to the store, and before those fire trucks had even left our driveway, she showed up with boxes and boxes of clothes for my kids. Right? Yeah. But she said there's more. Not only did she bring us boxes and boxes of clothes, but she gave us 20% off. Like super generous, my mom, right?
She was just like the epitome of the mama bear. I mean, she would protect me at all cost if she thought something unjust was happening to me. But at the same time, if I was being a little turd, I mean, there was no patience. There was no patience for turds.
She's gone over the hill, for she's gone over the hill, for she's gone over the hill, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny, for she's gone over the hill, for she's gone over the hill, for she's gone over the hill, and so we say bye-bye.
But I was spending all this time in the waiting room, slowly kind of going mad, like losing it a little bit. I mean, just sitting with nothing to do, just desperate to not end up in the same situation, to not be saying goodbye to my family at the age of 58. And the doctors made no bones about why she was in the situation that she was in. She was overweight by a lot. And she tried so hard, she tried really hard to change that, but she couldn't understand why asparagus wasn't still healthy after it had been breaded and fried. So I'm spending all this time in the waiting room, and I look over one day in a particularly dark moment in our ICU story, and I see this, a Trail Runner magazine. Apparently this is a magazine that people buy and pay for. And I start flipping. I guess I can count them out as a sponsor, right? Sorry, Trail Runner Magazine. So I start going through this magazine, and I mean, it's just, all these like gorgeously athletic people just like bounding over mountains, and I get to this hilarious article. This one right here. The title is amazing. Is the 100-mile ultramarathon the new marathon? You guys, I'm pretty sure it's not. But I start reading. And it says this. So the Leadville 100, one of the country's oldest and most difficult ultra marathons. Set in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, runners face some of the longest and steepest climbs in America, with a total elevation gain of over 15,000 feet, the equivalent of 6 times the Empire State Building. Runners must stave off blisters, hypothermia, hyperthermia, hyponatremia, hypernatremia, hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, exhaustion, and runners are in a constant battle to eat enough food to prevent their body's natural tendency to shut down its digestive system in order to divert resources to more critical body systems. And I thought what anyone desperate to lose weight would think. You guys, I should do this. And then I look over and I was like, who is this tall British drink of water? Ian Sharman. Okay, who's this? Ian Sharman is one of the world's preeminent ultra-running legends, a London native who left a financial career to pursue running.
I'd always used to play loads of sports, but I just wasn't doing that anymore, so I decided I need to do something. And while I was in that mindset, I saw a TV documentary about a race in the Sahara Desert, so I became a runner. When I first started, I was training for a desert race, but I included a few marathons and one ultra in the build-up to that. And I just found that I was gradually enjoying it more and got a little bit addicted to the racing. So I was doing about 30 marathons a year for about 3 years.
In addition to being the fastest ultra runner in the country, Ian also runs a wildly successful training business and trains some of the world's fastest elite ultra runners. You guys, he trains some of the world's fastest elite ultra runners. I bet he wants to train me. So you guys, I called up Ian Sharman and I said, look, dude, here's the deal. I'm a 6'2", 340-pound lumberjack, and I'm gonna run the Leadville 100. Don't you want to train me? And he said, maybe. You guys, I went to acting school, and so I'm really good with dialects. They're kind of my thing. I also have a really good Australian. It's kind of like, maybe. I don't know, someone else call out a dialect, anything, like somewhere, country, just German. Maybe. Yeah.
What's kind of like the, we have like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Like, what's the kind of like bigger picture game plan? Like when, like what really big weekends like do you like want me to get in, and when will we kind of like start to lay off and taper? Will we?
Well, we've got 7.5 weeks, so it's a little bit longer than you thought there. So the idea being that we'll have at least one big weekend of back-to-back runs. We're going to have plenty of long runs still. Most weekends will be longer runs, especially to just explore your new location, because you're going to have maybe 5 weekends where you can just try out new places, new trail areas. Ideally doing a couple of races around the 50K distance would be great. Because that's a good distance that you can recover from fairly quickly, and that you're just getting to have enough time on your feet, but with aid stations and all the logistics taken care of for you.
I told my family, they thought I was ridiculous. I told my friends, they were certain I was mad. But there was one friend who is a triathlete, super fit, like this is totally his thing. And I called him up and I told him what I was planning to do. And he said, look, Jeffrey, I don't want to be unsupportive. But when you go to the horse races, there's a reason why you don't see any Clydesdales. The best way to get me to do something is to tell me I can't do it. My mom used it all the time. She'd be like, I bet you can't do that laundry. I'd be like, I bet I can. Bet you can't rub lotion on my feet. Oh, yes, I can. You just watch me.
Y'all, if you have to do hill repeats, I think this is the place to do them. What?
When I was a little kid, I was really, really confused as to where babies came from. My family used to tell me this story about how out of all of our baby pigs, there was one baby piglet that they liked more than all the others. They liked him so much that they had him turned into a little boy. And that's where I came from. No, I know, but you guys, like now I'm a 33-year-old man, and I am very well aware of where babies come from. Your mom's butt. But when I was a little kid, you guys, I totally believed it because I thought that's where I got my tiny, pink, spiral-shaped penis. I always wished my parents had been donkey farmers.
When my mom passed away, I think it was probably the hardest on Jeff because they were extremely close.
Jeffrey is not a person who wears his emotions on his sleeve. He internalizes a lot. And then when Deb passed away, Jeffrey sort of disappeared. Jeffrey went off the grid a lot, and he went running, and he was in the woods, or he would go camping.
I think the running was a therapy for Jeff after my mom passed away. We all have something that we turn to when things are that bad, and I think running was just a way to distract his mind, and not only for a distraction. I mean, we'd watched our mom die, lay there day after day suffering, and it was all obesity, heart disease related, and I think he turned it into something positive.
So I started training for this. Of course, it was easier in the beginning, and then it got worse. My typical week looked like this. On a Tuesday, I would do a medium-length run, somewhere between 8 and 18 miles with some speed work in the middle. Wednesday, a really low-key recovery day, just 5 miles. On Thursday, another medium-length run with speed work in the middle. No running on Friday. Saturday, long run, usually marathon distance. Sunday, another long run, usually another marathon. At the end, I was averaging just above 70 miles per week. I guess a lot of things can go wrong. A lot of things can go wrong when you're trying to run that far. For me, my toenails are a big issue. When your toenails hit against the end of your shoe 2,337 times, they slowly die, and then they fall off. I have a lot of problems eating enough. If you run out of enough energy, which you guys, up until this point, I had no idea what it felt like to truly be hungry. I had never once let myself get to the point of true hunger.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong in a 100 miler, no matter how fit you are. just starting off, I mean, altitude is probably the biggest factor here. So he could get altitude sickness, or it could just slow him down so much that he doesn't manage to reach the cutoffs. He could easily pick up an injury. He could just twist an ankle, fall over, pull a muscle, anything like that, which then makes it very difficult to keep moving at a good pace. He could have troubles with his stomach, which is particularly bad when it's at altitude, and especially if it's a hot day. And if he's vomiting all over the place, it's going to be really difficult to keep moving, but you can usually pull it back from there. Not always, but you can usually find a way to get through. He could just wear himself out, go too fast early on, push too hard on either the uphills or the downhills, and trash his legs. And that again, that's probably the number 2 thing after altitude that would slow people down and cause them to drop here, is if they run the downhills too hard and then their legs toast. And then even the easy stuff they can't run and they get timed out. There's probably a number of other things that could go wrong, medical issues potentially, getting hit by a car. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen out there. He could get attacked by a bear. Depends on how extreme you want to go, but this is out in the mountains, and mountain weather can be very bad. And actually that's one other thing, lightning. If there's storms, that can force people to have to either stop and then waste time because they're waiting for the storm to go, or they go through it and then they either get very cold or wet or something else that happens like that, and they end up going to hospital. So yeah, this is not an easy race, and there's really extreme conditions out there.
Well, at the finish line of the 50, when I was crewing in San Francisco, when Jeff crossed the finish line, I didn't immediately know that anything was wrong. He seemed fine. He got his medal. We started to go get something to drink, and then I realized that he was either delirious or something else was seriously wrong. He needed food, and I tried to give him some broccoli with hummus, and he was unable to get that to his mouth. I had to find him a chair and lay him back, and I was feeding him as he lay there like a bird with his mouth open.
The scary truth is that people have died while ultra running, and that's terrifying for me and for Jeffrey's sister, and for Kevin and for anyone involved with the race. So
if it comes to the point that we think Jeff is in a situation where maybe it's going to cause him some kind of physical damage, or it's no longer healthy for him to continue on, we'll have to come together and look at all the factors and maybe even seek some advice from the professionals that they have there and make a decision then.
I think the thing that excites me the most about being on the crew is that Jeffrey's been working on this for a while. I knew I was going to be on his crew for a while, and he's been working so hard, and when he finishes this 30-hour, 100-mile, crosses the finish line, I'm going to be so excited because I can go to bed.
I can't say that I totally understand ultra running. I can't say that I understand why Jeffrey would want to do something so extreme to his body or something that scares his family and friends. But I can definitely understand the wanting to make a change in your life.
In 1988, when I came to Colorado, I had never seen an ultra of any type or distance, but I had read about it in a magazine about guys running 100 miles, and I had to see it. So I came to Leadville to see the race in 1988. Didn't know one runner, didn't know 1 mile of the course, but I came anyway. And I slept in my car right near the starting line for the first race, and I've seen everyone since 1988.
I chose the Leadville 100 because it is one of the most beautiful 100 milers. I'm going to be running through the Rocky Mountains. I also love the energy of the town. It has such a cool story and history, and I've always been fascinated with the run. And also, they take anybody. I didn't have to have a qualifying time, so that was important too.
I have 30 hours. There's a 30-hour cutoff. So if I'm not done in 30 hours, I don't finish. I didn't finish. I didn't officially finish. I don't count. It didn't happen. It's not only that I have to be at the finish line in 30 hours, I also have to be at each of the aid stations by their cutoff times. So if at any point I fall behind the cutoff time, I get pulled from the race. No naps, no sleeping. I gotta run. So, that's it. There's 6 major climbs. This one's probably going to be, well, both of these are probably going to be real total, like, mind fucks, because, this really seems like the big, like, oh, cool, I'm over halfway done and I'm done with the biggest climb. But actually, I have 2 more pretty rough ones. So, really, when I get to each aid station, this will be the most, basically when I get into each aid station, I will have just done a really terrible climb, except for the first one. And this one I will have had a ways before.
Can you put a heart around all that? Just
I draw a penis where you are afraid.
Oh, wow.
Nope, keep going. I'm catching it all.
I don't think this is going to the film.
This morning, Leroy was asleep by my feet. When he heard me wake up, he slowly inched under the covers up to me and just laid down next to me and gave me this look like, don't do it. Don't go. What are you doing? I was like, I don't know, buddy. I don't know.
Good morning.
Oh, morning. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Are you?
I don't know. Got a choice?
No, it's too late now.
I don't know if I'm in the mood to run 100 miles today. I'll do it next week.
I'll run hard for you.
Okay. Everyone ready? Yeah. We ride. Let's go.
And at 5 a.m. in the dark, I stood at the starting line of one of the most difficult and most storied ultramarathons in the world, surrounded by 800 people who were substantially more fit than I.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But we started the race, and it went all right. made it to mile 17, I guess, and I had a problem.
I almost missed the cutoff at the last aid station because I was about to crap my pants. And I waddled 2 miles to the aid station with my cheeks clenched like a vice, trying to convince myself that I could run another 70 miles without pooping. And I finally gave in and pooped in a porta potty for the first time ever. And it was devastating. I got poop on my hands twice. The smell was awful. I'm never ultra running again.
You guys, I'm really weird about pooping. I don't think I'm weird about pooping, but other people think I'm weird about pooping. For instance, I only poop in my own toilet. That's not that weird. But I won't poop unless I can immediately afterward take a shower. Yeah, cool, you think that's weird. You know what I think is weird? Grabbing a wad of the thinnest paper known to man and smearing it up your butt, pulling up your pants, and saying, yeah, I'm good. Savages. But I think I know why I ended up this way. When I was a little kid, I refused to wipe my own butt. And I would make my mom do it, and I remember very vividly sitting on the toilet. I remember exactly how I would say it. I would scream, "Mom, come wipe my butt!" And she would every time. It went on way too long, but eventually she had to stop because it was a 4-hour drive to my college, so I couldn't ask her to do that 3 times a day. Tragically, that is half true. You guys, where to go to the bathroom is one of the biggest concerns when you're running an ultramarathon. And number one, not that big of a deal. You just, especially for men, just pop off the trail, take care of your business, and keep running. For women, a number one is a little more involved. About mile 17 of the Leadville 100, I met this girl who was running beside me. We were kind of keeping up about the same pace. So we were chatting. Turns out she's from St. Louis. We had tons of stuff in common. But all of a sudden, she stops and she pulls down her pants in the middle of the trail and squats down and starts peeing. And she says, "I am so sorry. Please, please go on without me. I'll catch up with you." And you guys, I am a nice farm boy from Missouri. So I did the polite thing and I said, "That's okay. I'll wait." You guys, I had never seen that. I mean, I hadn't seen that, but I also hadn't seen that. My mom totally lied to me because that looked nothing like a freshly baked peach cobbler.
We've got a gingerbread man coming up the road. He's still a ways out though, so you can relax.
Gingerbread man. That was too loud.
Oh yeah, he totally is looking.
Good job.
I don't know if he's looking at the cowbells or your loud mouth.
Woo! Wait, I was looking at that guy.
Where?
That guy? Oh, he's
No,
there.
He's right there.
Yeah. Oh.
I should have made up time and I didn't.
That's right.
How are you guys?
We're great. Bye, I love you.
Get it?
Woo-woo!
I'm really close to missing the cutoff.
Hey.
Good, buddy. Keep working. Keep pushing. You got this.
It's been about 20 minutes from checkpoint every one, so.
Yeah, and it's a lot of downhill, so. Yeah, come on,
Potatoes? I think I'm good. Thanks, sir. All right.
How's your phone?
It was awful.
Okay, what do you want to take?
Pooping.
What am I
Just
doing?
the ball of my
Jeffrey,
right
do I need to
foot.
press the button on this thing? Or
Yeah,
is it
the
check?
white button right there. Poop,
Okay.
you're good. You're good.
Okay. All right, you're charging. Well, people was talking up a storm about it. You good? You want some more?
John, how are you? What are you here for?
Watch the race.
I mean, in Colorado.
Have fun.
You came here for me?
You're worried about time. Probably not a good time for it. The
Take
wait.
it off.
Yeah, no, I think I should. Well, if I have time.
You can't go down this way. You got to go up.
Okay, bye, guys.
Don't worry.
Hardest part of the trail is Hope Pass. You go over and down, and then you go a few miles and turn around and do it again. If you're successful on that part, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be successful in the race. But that's the toughest part of the course.
It's already brutal. Like, brutal. It's the most miserable feeling. It's like you literally can't breathe. I mean, you can try, but it's like you can't get air. No matter how.
I knew that it was close. I knew that I was really, really, really close to missing the cutoff.
You know if it was medical or present time times?
I don't. These mostly were timing because
Well
they got
after
up there
6
to 4:15 and they were turned back.
Okay.
So
He was going the way on time.
Thank you.
Rather than just going.
none that I know of or that are aware of. I mean, the only way to transport somebody off the top of Hope is by helicopter. So yeah, there'd be a flurry of activity if that was happening.
We just said we'd ask.
Yeah, I mean, my suspicion is they just turned back and he's walking back to Twin Lakes.
I just talked to the guy on the radio who confirmed that Jeffrey was in fact sent back at Hope Pass. His time was 4:15. It was after 4:15. The cutoff was 4:15. So they sent him back to Twin Lakes. Sucks. Feel bad. He had a lot going. A lot working against him.
I feel so bad.
be so emotional. I just feel like everything he's worked for, he's going to be so bummed, and he tried so hard, he trained so hard.
Still gotta be proud.
I know, he just needs to be proud, and I just don't want him to be really upset, and I just want him to be okay, which they said he was, because there would be a helicopter to the mountain if anything was terrible, so.
I didn't make it. I didn't make it. I missed the whole pass cutoff by 14 minutes. And so I got pulled. I don't know what to say to this dumb thing. I'm like numb. I've never been in this much pain. That was the hardest thing I've ever done. I don't know, I don't want to talk to this.
I was like, okay.
I'm sitting here on the sofa, literally shoving pasta in my mouth, so that's a decent consolation, isn't it? I don't know, it's so weird. It's like it's still sinking in. It's like a slow burn. Even when I was climbing Hope Pass, like, you know, it's not like you get there. It's like, oh, did I make it? Did I not make it? Oh, you didn't make it. Oh. You know you're not making it. You can see the minutes going by, and you can see how far you have to go. And you get there, and you're like, praying. Oh, maybe my watch is off. Maybe they're just, you know, not making people follow the rules today. I don't know, maybe something. But no, I was late. So. I don't know, I'm kind of fine with it. I mean, I'm not fine with it, I'm really disappointed, but the harder thing is everybody else, you know? I made such a big effing deal about running 100 miles. Never again.
You know, I'm trying to figure out what thing I should have done differently, and I can't think of one thing that I should have done differently, because there are a million things that I could have done differently, and I don't know what it was. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know, and I probably will never know.
Hi, Ian.
Hi, how's it going then? How are you feeling after Leadville?
Oh, I'm fine.
We went into it knowing it was going to be very tough, especially living at sea level, doing an altitude race. And I think that was probably the largest single factor that made it difficult. But you still got a hell of a long way, longest run you've ever done. And there was some very good running in there. So there's a lot that we can take away from that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't feel like that, but you do tend to learn more from the races that don't go well than the ones that go perfectly. And, you know, we weren't expecting, and no one ever would, at a race like a 100-miler like Leadville, to just breeze through it and it to be relatively easy and everything go well. But I think that realistically,
We've got a lot of positives that came away from that, some really good running, some really good build-up to it as well. And we can definitely take that on to things in the future. So I wouldn't be too downhearted by that. Just even starting it is a big deal. And the fact that it didn't go perfectly the first attempt, that is no negative or thing that you should just think you've failed, because really, if you look at the race, I think less than half the people finished it.
You guys, I was in the depths of despair. I was so over it. I finally pulled myself up by the bootstraps and said, you know what? Let's do this again. But I'm not an obnoxious vegan, you guys. I'm like a cool vegan, you know? I mean, like, I eat meat, you know?
He's now a vegan, you know, which is, if he hasn't told you, he will.
You know, there's so much build up to Leadville. I mean, I had been planning and training for it for over a year. It kind of feels like I'd been planning a wedding for a year. It just didn't happen. You know, in the end, everyone got there, everyone arrived, we started the wedding, but it just didn't happen. And so, I definitely...
The bride ran off, but luckily you found another bride, so you're going to get married very soon afterwards,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just a chubby ginger on the verge of heat exhaustion, and I need some shade. Just to run 21 miles today, quitting at 15. One of those runs.
I started training again. 6 months later, I am in Huntsville, Texas to run the Rocky Raccoon 100-mile ultramarathon. It's the day before the race, and my crew is jazzed.
I'm jazzed. She's ready. She's ready to go.
I don't know. The one thing I know from Leadville is that I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I have no idea. Like, no clue. Like, I'm ready, I've trained, but I don't know. I mean, literally anything could happen.
Did you want to come in?
I'm like right story.
Feet done been taped. These feet done went and been taped. Oh, these Pro Bars are amazing. I love Pro Bars. If it wasn't for Pro Bars, I don't think I'd be able to run at all, ever. Pro Bar. Oh. But
Oh, what's that?
A little hair club for men.
Oh, really?
I've got party all around, but if you're coming in from a helicopter,
watch out.
Party stops pretty quickly.
I think I'm doing this because, while she couldn't change her life, I can, you know?
I finally pulled it together and I decided I was going to run another ultramarathon, another 100-mile ultramarathon. So I talked to Ian and we finally decided that the best next option was the Rocky Raccoon 100, a 100-mile ultramarathon just north of Houston, Texas.
I don't know. I guess I feel fine. It's really dark. It's gonna be dark for the first 45 minutes, so I'll get a little taste of what the 13 hours of hell in the middle of the night are gonna be like. So I kind of kept this one on the down low just because I was I don't know. I just, after Leadville, I'd made such a big frickin' to-do about it, you know? It was just made it that much harder to tell everyone I failed. So nobody knows about this one. I'm doing this one in secret, sort of. Close friends know, but other than that, nobody knows that I'm here doing this weekend. I don't have to deal with a barrage of text messages asking me how it went and how it felt to cross the finish line when I didn't. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm near the end of my second loop, and shit's officially starting to fall apart. And my body is officially starting to fall apart. My feet hurt. Not that guy. He's looking good. But on the bright side, I only have 65 miles to go. So I should probably start running.
You want to start on this on your way?
How you doing? I'm okay.
You look great. Not bad or flat? Pretty flat?
Yeah, it's okay.
Can I keep your jacket?
Yeah.
Over here. Put your feet up back here. Back on now? You want it back on in a minute?
So we'll put it just there. I gotta sink you.
Right, do I have to meet you at the road?
No, it's okay. Yeah.
We can be there. We can be there.
So Jeff fell somewhere between 60 and 63.
And as I was falling in slow motion, I had a decision to make. Do I break my fall with my chest and save my food? Or do I let my food go and use my hands to break my fall. Well, anyone who knows my relationship to food knows that I chose to break my fall with my chest. It did not hurt that bad at the time, but it would turn out 36 hours later at urgent care that I had fractured a rib.
So he didn't have enough calories, so we left him at checkpoint at 63, and we have hiked a mile and a half through the woods at Mach speed in Ugg boots.
In Ugg boots. After picking up a meal at camp.
And incubating it.
And incubating it in the AC crock pot over here. It's in here, which is pretty great. I'm feeling like it might be too hot for him to eat when he gets here. Here's start finish. He came out here. This is where we saw him at the nature center, right here where these stars are.
Okay.
Then he has to come all the way down here. All this orange trail, and then this is where we got on here. This is the trailhead where we got on. So then he's gonna come down exactly where we were, hit this trail, come all the way out here.
No, he didn't have time.
I don't think he would have.
He's over here.
He's gonna come from this direction then. I said at 11:59, found my phone, see you at Damnation, and it was delivered.
Okay, mine hasn't
But I don't
been
know.
delivered yet.
Does he do read receipts?
No.
Okay. Okay. So now we just wait.
He has it shut off. He's sneaky like that.
That's okay.
You know what?
What?
I'm just gonna take this, sorry if you already did that,
Nope.
I'm just gonna take this headlamp.
Okay. You don't want any batteries in that one?
What, new batteries? We got them laid out for you already.
Here we are right here.
I need to be out of here
Okay.
by 20.
20? You got it. 4 minutes. We can do this. Your breakfast is ready.
Yeah, I need a no-dose, and can you put a no-dose in that top left front zipper that won't
Sorry, is that okay? Do you want me to wash your face or anything?
No, it's okay.
Okay. How are your feet? Do you need tape? Good.
Okay, you want ibuprofen again?
It doesn't close.
Okay. Do you want any cramp stuff in your pack?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I want one now.
You want one now?
I'm pretty sure you just drank one, didn't you?
What do you mean? Like he wants one in his pack and one in here. Okay, sorry, I didn't see it.
Oh my god, you guys, what am I doing? It's really cold.
Yeah,
very cold.
It's really, really cold, and I'm sweaty.
You didn't take these.
Alright, that one is so much easier. Alright, Jeff. Breakfast.
Okay.
You're taking this to go. Are you leaving the blue coat on then?
I'm gonna put my pack on underneath it.
Okay. Alright, here we go. We're up.
This is gonna be a big one. One.
Okay, let's do it. 2, 3.
Oh.
Make sure your phone stayed in. It's You got 1 minute.
Yes. I can't see that up with this. I'm sorry. Take this. I got it, Jeff. Astronaut gloves?
Yeah, astronaut gloves. Sorry.
Nope, sorry.
Okay, what about the lightweight black one? Are we tucking it in somewhere?
On my hose.
Your hose?
No, I don't want that.
Here's your hose.
Hey, you're looking good.
He's looking great, isn't he?
He's looking great. He's coming back out.
So proud. He's on his way. All right.
Oh, the old one's in there too. Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to meet you with the rest of your breakfast at the nature center?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, you gotta have these calories to keep you enough heat.
Okay.
Okay.
What time is it for real?
For real, for real?
Yeah.
22.
Okay.
All right. Love you. We'll see you.
We love you. Stop.
Bye. We love you. 20 more. You've got this.
Holy shit.
So jazzed.
Okay, so let me clean up our mess here.
Okay.
And
And we're taking that bag up. Yeah, let's do it. He's got half a bag of breakfast.
You do look good. I can. You look like you just woke up. Can we help you? See you in a minute, Jen. No.
She was my safety net. Like, if anything went wrong, like she was always there. No matter what happened, I knew, like, well, sure, that sucks, but I'll call my mom, or like she'll take care of it. Like, I just don't have the words to describe what it feels like to have that net pulled out from under you. You think I was a mama's boy? Look at me. But I miss her a lot.
He's behind them. Come on, Jack! He's gonna make it! He's gonna make it! Jack, let's go!
Time, 29 hours, 50 minutes, 16 seconds. Previous mile in, 20 minutes, 13 seconds. Distance, 100 miles. Distance, 100 miles.
That was really hard.
Yeah. Yes, it's hard.
Why did I do that?
We've been wondering that all night long. Like, we wondered why did we agree to do this?
When you're running these things, they have professional photographers along the trail, and at mile 97, I see a photographer. He's in a bush. Up until this point, in every ultramarathon, I have refused to pose for these photos. I want people to see me, like I want it to be real. I want them to see me how I am when I'm running. But at this point, I decided I just ran 97 miles. I'm a pose for this. And this is it, you guys. This is me. This is me at mile 97. Thank you. I was falling apart, you guys. You can't see my feet, but my feet, I had blisters upon blisters, which would have to be lanced at the urgent care the next day. 2 toenails would fall off in the following weeks. My feet, every muscle in my foot and ankles was completely shot. This, impossible. It was like I was running on 2 nubs, completely useless. My calves were fine. My calves are always fine. They're always good. I know, it's not a huge deal. It's just whatever, It's like, you can touch it. You're welcome. This cup, apparently I thought I needed to hold on to this styrofoam cup in case I stumbled across some food in the woods or something. And it's slightly ironic that I was eating this like vegan, organic, non-GMO food out of a styrofoam cup. The vegans are not gonna be happy about that. But my brain, you guys, my brain was like a disaster. Your brain can only use sugar, carbohydrates as energy. And the thing you are lacking most when you're doing something like this is sugar. And your brain, you're just not all there. You can go from crying to hysterical laughter like that.
So I'm gonna go to the doctor in a little bit, see what they have to say about it, get some drugs. But other than that, I'm fairly unscathed, I think. I mean, I finished, so I'm on top of the frickin' moon. Over the moon. I'm over the moon. I'm on top. I'm really happy.
But 3 miles later, across the finish line, in 29 hours, 52 minutes, and 16 seconds, across the finish line, limped. Thank you. Across the finish line, limped this Clydesdale.
I was running down the final stretch and all these people cheering and screaming for me. It's amazing. Amazing. It's totally worth, not being able to walk and having a fractured rib. You should try it. The running part, not the fractured rib.
I had a good cry. I was crippled for a few days, but I survived. And I think the moral of the story is, as cliche as it is, we only live once, and we have to make the most of our time. My mom would have given anything to have been here longer.
We don't have control over how long we're here. We don't have control over how we leave. But if going for a few 100-mile runs and eating a few less Doritos is going to improve the odds of me not leaving the way she did, yeah, let's run 100 miles for sure. It's totally worth it.
If there's something you want to do, there's that crazy thing you've always wanted to do, this is the time, now, right now.
You're wanting to do another one ever?
No, I didn't say that.
I'm asking.
Not right now.
I mean right now.
Not right now. I don't ever want to do another one, but I'm sure I will at some point.
But all of this was inspired by a quote by Mae West that I have always loved since I was a kid. And Mae West said, "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough."